Okay, we're going to make Italian biscotti, and we're going to make two varieties. We're going to make macadamia and lemon with white chocolate and a roasted almond and cardamom. So for the first, what you need to do is you need to get a big bowl, place a sieve over the top, and we need to just sieve 300 grams, and this is strong baker's flour. It's important to use a strong flour for this. It's higher protein. So let's put that through there. Okay, then we need 190 grams of caster sugar, so pop that straight in. We need 5 grams of baking powder, put that in, and 1 gram of, this is just table salt, so put the table salt in there. And then the next part is the macadamia nut and the lemon. So we've got 1 lemon, and I've just grated it, a thicker grate, so you get nice chunks when you bite into the biscotti. Yeah, it is yum fro. And this is macadamia nuts that I've roasted for 10 minutes at 150 degrees in the oven. And I've just lightly chopped it. There's some chunks, but I do want it chopped a fair bit, so pop that in. Okay, and then we're just going to...
Mommy,
yes, Freya?
you have to put sugar.
Yeah, we put sugar and flour and baking powder and salt.
You have to make some chocolate things.
Not chocolate things today, Freya. Maybe a little bit of chocolate. That's cardamom. Okay, so now we're going to add 180 grams of whole eggs. So they'll just make a well in the middle.
I want to mix it.
Okay, well, let me just pour it in. There's the eggs gone in. And I just use the fork a bit and just turn it around with the fork. And then you've got to get your hands in there. But before I do that, I'm just going to show you the almond one. So here is the flour, sugar, baking powder and salt. So same weights, 300 grams strong baker's flour, 190 grams caster sugar, 5 grams of baking powder and 1 gram of salt. And then we're going to add, this is 10 grams of cardamom powder, so pop that in. And add 1 teaspoon of white pepper. This brings out the cardamom flavour. Okay, and now we're adding 75 to 80 grams of roasted almonds. These have been roasted at 10 minutes at 150 degrees, and I've chopped these a little bit chunkier because I do like to see the chunky almonds in the biscotti once they're cooked. And the macadamia nuts was about 75 to 80 grams as well. So pop that in. Okay, and the same, we've got 180 grams of eggs. So just mix all the dry ingredients around first.
I want to mix.
Yep, I'm going to let you mix this one. Then pour the eggs in the middle. And again, just mix it around. Yeah, again, with the fork, and then you're going to use your hand. A good idea too is to just dust your hands in flour and have a cup of strong baker's flour just on the side. And also have a scraper to help scrape all the mixture together. And then we're going to turn it out onto the bench and knead it a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. So dust the bench a bit with lightly with flour, strong baker's flour, and we're just kneading it a little bit. Don't want it to stick to the bench too much. Not working it too much, just a little bit for it to come together. Okay. Keep lightly dusting the bench, and then when it's not too sticky, it's a little bit sticky, so I'll just put a bit more out there. Now I just cut it in half. Place each half on a baking tray lined with baking paper and shape into a 30 centimetre length log with about a 7 centimetre width. It doesn't have to be perfect shape, it can be quite rough, but as long as you've got a log shape of about 30 centimetre length and 7 centimetre wide. Prepare the macadamia and lemon flavoured dough into logs the same way and then place in a preheated oven of 160 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes until firm to touch and golden in colour. Biscotti are cooked when they're firm to touch and got a bit of a golden colour. Now we're going to let it sit on the tray for 5 minutes and then turn it out onto a cooling rack before we cut it and cook it a second time. After the logs have cooled slightly, maybe about 10 minutes, cut the log into thin slices using a serrated knife and try to achieve just under 1 centimetre thickness. Bake slices of biscotti at 150 degrees for another 30 minutes, making sure to swap the trays around halfway. Okay, so over a double boiler, melt 150 grams of white couverture chocolate, and we're just going to now pipe this over the macadamia and lemon biscotti. So grab a small piping bag with a very small nozzle and pour the chocolate into
Mommy.
Yeah, fine.
Tacchi a spillo e sguardo da star. Rifiutano sempre perché sono belle e restano sole al banco del bar. Le coppie si baciano come nei film, poi si tradiscono dopo un'ora.
Okay, all the biscotti have been cooked for a second time at 150 degrees for about another 30 minutes. So when they're cooked, you can hear that crunch, that's what you're after, so that when you dunk it or bite into it, it is quite a crunchy biscuit. And when you dunk it, it absorbs the coffee or tea that you're dunking into. That's great.